Hello, everybody. Welcome to Business Service. I am Dr. Aloni Alali, and I'll be anchoring the segment on health for wealth. And we've been talking about generally how to prevent complications of diseases that we have already elaborated a lot from our last session. If you're with us in the last Business Service, you remember we talked a lot about diseases that have complications that could even lead to death, but are largely preventable. We talked about raised blood pressure. We talked about raised blood sugar. We talked about the things that can happen if they are not taken care of. And then we agreed to take a step from that service that we'll go and check ourselves to be sure our blood pressure is within normal. For those that are within normal ranges, for those that are increased, we think about how to control it, but generally to be intentional about our health, because these complications are largely preventable. There are stories that are bound, people who go to bed are not able to wake up the next morning because of one complication or the other. And these are things that are largely preventable. I had mentioned to us then that the World Health Organization describes those group of conditions as non-communicable diseases. They are also referred to as lifestyle diseases because they actually as a result of the way people live their lives. And if we can modify the lifestyle and introduce a few more things, we could prevent the occurrence of those diseases and keep people largely healthy. So that's the purpose of this session, to bring us health education, to give us awareness on how to regulate our lifestyle to stay healthy for the longest. So then we talked about different things that we could do, from exercise to our diet, and eventually for those that will need medications. In this session today, we want to take the conversation a bit deeper and then look at specifics, because there are things that we can actually do. A lot of them are free, but because people are not aware of it, people are not able to implement those things to be able to get the results that we desire to have. But we'll take some this morning, and then we'll agree again to take action immediately we leave this place. All right? If that has caught your attention, let's get straight into it. Do you know that more than 60% of your body mass, of your weight, is actually water? So a large proportion of your body is made of water. If water is that important to keep the body, then why are we not having enough of it? I could tell you a lot of people are not taking enough water because they don't even know the importance of it. And then the worst scenario is those that substitute water with other things. For instance, carbonated drinks. Some people think when they feel thirsty, what they need is carbonated drink. It's a very, very wrong practice. Your body is just telling you need more water, and what you should take is water. Because even the carbonated drink, no matter how much of it you take, it may never really be enough. So you keep taking it a lot, taking it more and more, and then some people are even addicted to those things. We'll get to that. But let me just give us some few benefits of adequate hydration when we're taking enough water. One very important one is cognition, your ability to remember things, for your brain to function optimally. It comes a lot with how much water you have in your system. When you are dehydrated, when the level of water in the body is reduced, people usually become irritable. They are angry at little things. They make poor decisions. And all of those can be tweaked by just taking enough water for the day. Towards the end of this conversation, I'll let us know what is enough for the day. But for cognition, for brain functions, water is extremely very important. And like we said, a large portion of the body is made of water. So most body functions are actually dependent on how hydrated you are. Things like digestion of whatever food you've had. People come down with constipation that is avoidable if they had taken enough water. What about temperature regulation? Your body, when you're taking water, one way that we excrete is from sweating. The more of it you take, the more you're likely going to pass urine, the more you're likely going to sweat. When you sweat, what goes out with the sweat sometimes is salt, reducing the salt load in your body, which will also help to regulate the blood pressure. Very important function of adequate hydration. Then when you also pass urine, as you take in, you pass in, it improves the kidney functions. We talked about circulation, we talked about digestion, then brain functions, also in control of the blood pressure. Another thing that water does for us as well, it controls weights. People are spending so much in trying to stay fit, stay within shape. Taking enough water also helps. When you start the day with a bottle of water, it actually even improves your appetite. It reduces your appetite rather for the things that would have actually been deleterious to your health. So adequate hydration is really important. We cannot emphasize it enough. It has functions in digestion, it has functions in circulation, it has functions in temperature regulation, your brain function, that's cognition. It has functions in kidney functions, it has benefits in weight control. So much that we can gain by just taking in enough water. You know, it's very common for people to tell you, I went to eat myself, and what I see is colored urine. I say I have malaria and all that. That is definitely not a sign of malaria. When you see those colored urine, your body is just telling you that you don't have enough water in your system. It's concentrated urine, really. So when you're taking enough water, it clears it up. Some people are even predisposed to having kidney stones and all that because there's not enough water in the system, and then the body is struggling to retain what it has until stones begin to form. So we must take in enough water. We must take in water as often as we can to stay healthy, to keep our brains functional, to keep the whole body functional. It could even help in controlling blood pressure that we mentioned earlier. Even blood sugar as well could be improved by taking in enough water. Having said that, what is enough water? An average adult person needs between 2 to 3 liters of water, actually between 2.5 to 3 liters of water per day. How are you going to measure it? Are you going to carry a bucket or something measuring how many liters you take per day? Not really. There are basic things that we can do on a daily basis that can give you a rough estimate to tell you how much water you have taken for the day. For instance, the medium bottle size water bottle, that's about 75 cl or so. If you have 4 of that in a day, you would have taken up to 2.5 to 3 liters, which is enough for an average adult person. So you start the day with a bottle of it in the morning. That could even help, maybe it could reduce your appetite for heavy meals and so on. But 1 in the morning is a good way to start the day. And then if you need more, if you are lucky to have 3 meals in a day, so you accompany each meal with another bottle, at the end of the day you would have had 4 bottles. But even if you don't have 3 meals a day, like I don't have 3 meals a day usually, you could still go for 1 in the afternoon, 1 mid-afternoon, and 1 in the evening. You would have had 4 bottles of that size in a day, accounting for the requisite amount of hydration that you need in your body for adequate brain function, adequate kidney functions, adequate digestive systems and circulatory system, keeping your whole body healthy. It has a way of making you feel well. Generally, your well-being is improved, and then some of these disease conditions that we talked about earlier are minimized and prevented. Thank you very much for your attention. By the next service, we'll look at another important component that have been described as nature's best efforts yet at immortality. It's a practice that when adequately put in place, you could recover. Some illnesses get healed of their own because of efficient practice of this step that we're going to discuss by the next time we're with you. Once again, welcome to Business Service. This is Health for Wealth segment of the Business Service. God bless you.